Eddie Spires has tasted victory, Fran Principe. And the list goes on as we're set to go green off 4. They're underway.
Little contact at the start between Rocco and Savory. Fortunately, everyone okay, and we continue to roll right along off the turn. Rocco coming on strong in his rookie season, leading the way over Savory, but Richard all over his back bumper. Now down the backstretch, it's Brian Schofield looking for that number 4 spot as he moves alongside Eric Leclerc.
Meanwhile, back in the front of this class, Savory dives down low on the bottom. Savory takes over the number 1 spot with 2 laps up on the board. Brand new leader brings him back to the line, car number 9.
Further on back, car number 9 here, Renee Dupree's trying to start to make her way to the front as she battles now with the M6 and Chris Kovac. But right behind them, it's the Reggie Ruggiero, car number 11. He watches that battle going on. Back up front now, it's still Richard Savory in command in car number 9. Frank Rocco currently 2nd. But here comes the Gentle Giant, car number 09 of Brian Schofield. He's currently 4th, but got his eyes set on that 3rd position. And now he'll try to work to the inside, coming off at turn number 4.
Scott Walker with his best run here in the early going of this one, but Brian Schofield is closing in the 09. And Eric Leclerc holding on to 5th place, trying to fight off the challenges of Robbie Summers. At the line, it is still Savory leading the way. Rocco gets sideways, opens the door, and here comes Scott Walker up alongside.
Well, Walker's turning in the run of his career as he's showing him how he can get the job done. As Scotty Walker moves into 2nd, he is on a roll and heading to the front of this class.
Further on back, car 00, Stephen Park also tries to make his way up to the front, as well as the 11 of Ruggiero. Here comes last Saturday night's feature winner, Fran Principe Jr. He'll try to work to the outside of Reg, off turn number 2 and down the backstretch.
The action hot and heavy no matter where you go.
Trouble now, Robbie Summers gets crossed up. He goes around and that sends him jammed up between turns 3 and 4. Robbie Summers got crossed up, and then with a solid shot to the bumper, ends up going around and gets tagged to the right side of car number 2X. Involved in the altercation, but most of them stopped just in the nick of time, appears to be the 90 of Renee Dupuis, the 4 New York, the Simon Sini car of Jim Houghton, and the man that runs number 2 in the point parade for Tom Jensen. We don't believe there was any severe contact made by the Jensen car. However, the Houghton car did make contact. You can see the nerve bar on the Rob Summers car. Pit gate opens. Scoreboard tells the story. The rookies, and the man that visited Victory Lane just 1 week ago is just coming back out of the pit area. There's a lot of time left in this one. 92 circuits remaining. Robbie Summers is going backwards on the racetrack, and that's going to cost him more than he could imagine if he doesn't pull to the center of the infield. So Summers knows the rules. It don't matter if they pushed him or not. And 8 of the 100 laps are into the record books in this Denny's Acme Auto Supply AC Delco sponsored America's Birthday 100 for the
to the infield. Let's see if he gets under power.
Summers gets it fired back up, and apparently he's not even going to the pit area to have the car checked over, which is kind of a bizarre situation because he's automatically going to be last, so he has nothing to gain and nothing to lose by going to the pits. And perhaps he would be a lot smarter, or his crew chief would be a lot smarter, to call that car in to check on the damage.
And that's the car that Rob Summers will campaign here on the Wednesday night show for the Featherlight Modified Tour coming up on Wednesday, July the 17th. It's the Budweiser King of Beers 150. See all the cars and stars on the Featherlight Modified Tour, such as
He was involved in that incident. So Jensen questioning his position.
Well, he was definitely involved. When the caution was out, he was setting up there in the turn. So it wasn't a situation where he wasn't involved. He was setting there when the caution came out, and even after the caution came out, he was still setting up there in the turn. So obviously he goes to the rear of the field.
And he's slowly dropping back to join the runners back there.
They'll pick up the pace. Get ready. They'll unleash him off turn number 4. The green flag is out. Savory stands on the throttle. Walker in hot pursuit.
Well, the green flag comes back out. Richard Savory in command. Frank Rocco went way down low, but now he's going to lose quite a few spots to the 09 as we got a problem.
Fuller up against the barrier, now pulling through the infield. Savory leading the field around. Walker still holding second, and now Chris Kopech and Stephen Park work their way out behind Brian Schofield.
No question about it. It is going to be a torrid battle up front, as now the heavy contenders like Kopech, Stephen Park, and the Reg are coming to the front with ease. Rocco a little bit out of shape that time.
Also coming up to the front, car number 10A, the defending champion.
Oh, the point leader goes spinning. So, Dave Barabee goes around in turn number 2 as we still stay green. Now the caution will fly. Well, here we go. Get ready.
Here they come off turn number 4. Green flag is out. Savory right on the ball. He'll bring him down in car number 9. Now let's see if Brian Schofield can make that move to the inside of Walker, as Walker is definitely strong on the outside. But here comes the M6 of Chris Kopech. He'll try to work to the outside of Schofield off turn number 4. He'll do so with ease to put his car into third place. Schofield still down low. He's going to lose positions to the M6 of Kopech and the 11 of Ruggiero.
Well, there's a good race right up front. It's Stephen Park just had Dan Avery go around him. This is the strongest run we've seen this season out of Avery here at Riverside. He moves into the top 5, and he's headed to the front of this class. He goes to the outside of the Reg. Can't do it this time, but there's plenty of time in this 100-lap feature event.
Further on back, Rene Dupree, car number 90, works to the outside of Jensen as they head down the backstretch. Back up front, it's still Savory in car number 9, your leader. Scott Walker having one of the best runs in his career here at Riverside Park Speedway. But now here comes Chris Kopech, the 1994 champion, currently runs 3rd. But watch out, he's going to have the Reg right to the inside of him as they come off of turn number 2.
Reggie Ruggiero has worked his way into 3rd, and Dan Avery becomes the tail that wags the dog as he's right behind him in hot pursuit. Here comes some of the superstars of the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour.
As they're breathing down, Richard Savory's back as they work it off at turn number 2.
18 laps into this one. Richard Savory took the lead on lap number 3. Here comes the Reg with that patented move on the bottom.
And he is doing it. Here he goes. He's now into 2nd place, past Scott Walker. And he goes to work on our leader. Let's see what Savory has in store for the Reg. At the line, they're almost even.
Well, you leave the door open and somebody's going to come in. And that's exactly what Richard Savory did. He left the inside wide open, and the Reg has now moved in to take over the lead on lap 21.
So Reggie Ruggiero in car number 11 now firmly puts that car into the number 1 spot. Savory 2nd. Then it's Dan Avery currently 3rd with Scott Walker hanging in there right now for 4th. Then it's Chris Kopech and car number 0 of Stephen Park.
Good racing right up front, but a little further back we see Richie Gallup and Ted Riggett threading their needle through traffic, and they too are coming now strong into the top 10.
Further on back, car number 79 of Tom Jensen. He's running 13th at the time. He'll try to make a move to the inside of the 18 Aspires. Can't quite make the move that time. He'll have to fall back in line. Back up front, it's still Ruggiero in car number 11. Then it's the 9 of Savory. Then Dan Avery in car number 10A.
Down the back straightaway, Ted Riggett and Richie Gallup. Wade Cole and the rookie Rocco battling just into the top 10. 4 cars under a blanket. And Wade Cole also turning in a good run here tonight. Picks up the spot. Riggett looks for an opening. Gallup's waiting in the wing.
Whoa, problem on the front stretch. The 47er Riggett got a little bit of tap there. Got a little bit.
His best run at Riverside in 1996. He has not been a threat all season, but tonight he is a major factor. He dives to the bottom of Savory. There's the battle for 2nd, and the pink and black machine is heading to the front.
Ted Riggett going around, and that brings out the caution.
Here we go. Get ready.
Here they come off turn number 4. Green flag is back out as the Reg will lead them down in car number 11. Let's see now if Avery can make the move to the inside and take that spot from Savory's. We got a spin off turn number 2. It's a 34 machine of Scott Walker.
No, it isn't. It's the 33 of Wade Cole.
Oh, correct. That's right.
So he goes spinning on the bottom side of the racetrack. Let's see what the NASCAR officials are going to do. And the yellow does come out.
Also the 71 of
over turn 4.
And right now the fireworks are going to start back on the track as we go back to green with Reggie Ruggiero leading them down in car number 11. Let's see if the defending champion Dan Avery can overtake the number 9 of Savory. Avery way down low, Savory up high. They work off turn number 4. Further on back, another battle shaping up between the 73 of Frank Rocco and the 79 of Tom Jensen, as Jensen will pick up another spot as they head down the backstretch.
31 lap show on the board. Reggie Ruggiero is the leader. Trouble now. They are all scattered. Jim Houghton is in this one like the previous ones. Ted Riggett and the number 90 of Rene Dupuis are stopping. Extend.
Also be fireworks tomorrow for the Fireworks Sunday Thrill Space.
Only appearance this year of the TQ Midgets here at Riverside. Legends Rookie Race, depth-defying figure 8. Full-size enduro, 4-cylinder enduro. Isn't that nice? Rene Dupuis' car is going backwards on the racetrack as well, so she's got to come and touch that white squared box in order to go to the pit area. And Teddy Riggett pulls away under his own power with a flat right front tire.
Well, here's how the top 10 in points came into this event. Dave Barabee, the leader with 462 points. Tom Jensen had 442 points. Eddie Spire.
Clench green, so that's going to be it. The pit game.
So we hope the
And is July 4th Celebration 100.
Here we go. Get ready. They're under green.
Here they come. They'll blast it down into turn number 1 with the Reg leading them down. Avery once again trying to take number 2 spot away from the 9 of Savory, but Richard Savory very strong tonight in car number 9. Further on back, a lot of battles shaping up between the 67 of Papali and the 73 of Rocco. Rocco tries to look to the inside, can't quite make the move as they battle down the backstretch.
Good racing wherever you look. Here comes Kopech and Richie Gallup. 3 wins versus 2 wins between those two. It's a total of 5, and we're still under green.
And look at Scott Walker continue his great run, still holding on to 4th place ahead of all the top guns. And doing a super job. Down the backstretch they go, still the Reg, but increasing his margin now over Savory.
Oh,
Scott
problem.
Walker sideways. Uh-oh.
Oh, problem.
Quick check. Scott Walker having a great run, all of a sudden getting sideways.
Yep, tagged the wall at a ton with car number 34. Good. Scott Walker is okay, but a severely damaged race car. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Heartbreaking situation for the very talented driver.
He was having a great run here tonight.
Absolutely was. And Walker is walking, checking over the car as they'll be bringing the number 34 to the center of the infield. And it looks like it's going to need the assistance of a double hook.
And that generally is not a good sign.
Neighborhood guest pass.
Just about ready to get back under green. Here they come off turn number 4. Green flag is out, and the Reg will lead them down once again.
Stephen Park has come to life also. He moves to the outside of Dan Avery. There's a bid for that number 3 spot.
Oh, problem on the backstretch. The 73 of Rocco hard into the Arpco Berry, bounces off, and also getting collected is the 47 of Riggett, the 40 York of Houghton, and the 18 of Spires also involved there.
Well, ironically, the 4 New York and the 47 are involved again. You're out, and this is the 3rd time that Riggett has went to the pit area with suspension or a tire going down tonight. He has just had no luck at all for the talented driver. But he goes to the pits under his own power. If it can be done, that car will be back out. Smooth by any means for 34.
Here they come. They'll work it off at turn number 4, and the Reg will lead them back down.
There goes Avery again with a bold move to the bottom.
He's been trying to take that spot for the longest time now. Let's see if he can make that move stick as they work it off at turn number 4. Further on back, the current man who's in second in the point standing, Tom Jensen, car number 79, is currently 7th. But right behind him is car number 67 of Papale. Here comes Avery now, as he's going to lose a spot to the 00 of Stephen Park, as Stephen Park looks like he could be the fastest car on the racetrack.
Well, Stephen Park knows when to apply the pressure and when not to.
Meanwhile, further back, Richie Gallup overtakes Chris Kopech and moves into 5th place.
Gallup has come from the 16th starting spot. Gallup has 2 feature event wins to his credit. Rene Dupuy has a problem, pulls to the center of the infield. The gauges come on in the car, not a good indication.
Back up front, it's still Reggie Ruggiero. He'll lead him off on turn number 2 with Savvy Ryan in tow. Then it's Stephen Park, Dan Avery.
Single file formation is still the story. Schofield pulls out a line and takes a peek at the bottom.
Can't quite make that move. He'll have to fall back in line. Back up front, it's still car number 11 of Ruggiero in command.
Good racing, and wherever you look, it is pretty much single file at this point, as they're just 7 laps shy of the halfway. This would be the normal distance, 50 laps, if it was a regular Saturday night program, but it's not.
Well, Stephen Park is all over the rear bumper of the 9 of Savory, but here comes Dan Avery now, trying to take that spot away from Stephen Park. Avery took a peek down low, couldn't quite make the move. He fell back in line, so you'll have to keep your eyes on Avery. He'll try to take over that spot from Stephen Park. Back down to the line, it's still Ruggiero, Savory, Park, Avery, Gallup, and then the M6 of Kopech, and then the 79 of Jensen. Going down deep in the pack, car number 09 of Schofield and the 67 of Papale.
Look at Dan Avery. But Park comes off the turn strong. There's Avery. Watch Park pull him into turn 1, but Avery makes up a lot of ground on the bottom. That's where the race is. The battle for 3rd.
No doubt about it, and watching that battle going on, it's car number 28 of Richie Gallup, a 2-time feature winner, and now Gallup is going to come in to challenge the 10A of Dan Avery as they work.
Halfway down and halfway to go. It is Reggie Ruggiero, your leader. Savory in 2nd, Stephen Park is 3rd, and Gallup becomes factor number 4. Avery drops back to 5, Kopech is 6th, Jensen is 7th, Schofield is 8th, 9th is Papale, and 10th unofficially is Dave Gallo. Just out of the top 10, Dave Barabee.
Some ground.
Smaller car, he's forced to change grooves to the high side to get around Roy Seidel.
Tom Jensen has a problem with the right front brake caliper. You'll see the sparks as he comes out of the 4th turn. The right front caliper is sparking on the Jensen machine.
And that possibly could have came from one of those altercations that he was in up in turn number 3 earlier in the event. Off turn number 4, it's still Ruggiero in car number 11, your leader, Savory, 2nd. Then it's a 00 of Park. Richie Gallup, 2-time feature winner, currently runs 4th. And car number M6 is 5th with Avery Savory, currently runs 13th on the field at this time with 58 laps showing on the Winston Racing Series scoreboard.
Richard Savory Reggie doing a good job of hanging with the Reg. Still a long way to go, and most anything can happen. Stephen Park is gaining on the top two. So we may have a three-way battle coming up very shortly.
60 laps complete, 40 laps to go.
Further on back, Tony Papali now will try to pick up a spot from that Ford York of Big Jim Holman. Papali down low, trying to take a spot away. Still, it's Reggie Ruggiero coming off turn number 4 as your leader. And Riley will have to wonder if slower traffic may have an outcome of this as they head down the backstretch. The big question is, Stephen Park, who currently runs third, does he have anything for the man of Savory to try to pick up that second spot?
Lap traffic could become a factor. They come up on Eric Leclerc with the number 78.
It's still Ruggiero in command of this one in car number 11 as they hit the stride.
Dan Grasso becomes the next pick car that the leaders will have to get around.
Schofield now comes in to try to take a spot away from the Jensen machine. Week's feature winner, car number 44, extra Fran Principe.
Looks almost as if suspension or something on the Principe car. This is the brake that Jensen might have needed to get to the pit area. With that right front caliper that has been sparking away, Jensen heads to the pits. Remember, Jensen is the number 2 man in the point standings. Wade Cole heads to the pits, and there goes Dan Avery. We'll see if this one's going to be for tires.
Well, Ben, what they said earlier, they were waiting for a caution anywhere between laps 60 and 70.
Well, they got one, 68. There goes Principe, left rear tire. Dan Avery's strategy pay off. He is the only car to go to the pits and invest in new rubbers. And that's the tires on the machine. $140 a pop, 4 of them. That means he had to put at least 8 tires on the car tonight.
Well, there are a few competitors trying to gain a little extra edge. Some of these cars have been lapped, and we're going to get things straightened out. This is going to be something.
Well, we'll see if that move for Avery paid off. 4 fresh tires in the full tank. Here they come. Off turn number 4. Green flag is out. Ruggiero once again brings them down in car number 11. But now Stephen Park in car double 0 finds himself in the number 2 spot. Here comes Richard Savory in car number 9 trying to get that spot back. Down low, car number M6 and Chris Kopak tries to work to the inside of Schofield.
Dan Avery is smoking on through the lap traffic, and he's coming to the front of the field. Avery is on a roll. The tires are working. Back up front, Kopak. Now Schofield back to life. Now Jensen in car number 79. He'll try to make a move to the inside of the current point leader, car number 04 of Merrily. There's your first place man and second place man in the point standings, battling for position as they work it off of turn number 4. And it looks like Jensen's going to win this battle as they come off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Dan Avery picks up another spot from a 1-lap down car, and that's Jim Houghton. Here comes Kopak. Oh, he almost slams Schofield in aggressive move to the bottom. Back down to the line, it's Ruggiero will lead him across in car number 11. Stephen Park is second. Savory is third. A good battle going on for fourth between the 28 of Gallup and the 09 of Schofield, but it looks like it's going to be Gallup when they come off turn number 4.
Now, once again, Schofield to challenge Gallup down the backstretch. Here they go. Schofield really coming back to life.
Stephen Park.
Oh! They hook together, finally break away, and Schofield loses 2 positions. Avery is right back where he started from when he went to the pits for fresh sneakers. And those are working like
You would not believe.
Yes, sir. And while that march has been taking place, Stephen Park has moved into second. Watch this battle between Gallup, Kopech, and Avery. Here comes 3 wide. Who said you can't do it at a quarter mile?
Well, they just did it as Avery now is working his way to the front, and now he'll try to work to the inside of Gallup as they head down the backstretch.
Avery's strategy could make him the star of this event. 79 and counting down in this 100-lap feature. Dan Avery is marching like Sherman's march to the sea, but he's marching to the front.
Does this bring back memories of the race?
Problem turn number 4 as we have a car around and the caution will fly.
And this too will help Avery in his bid.
Yes, it will.
No doubt.
For an illegal clutch. So the 21 Pro Stock has been disqualified from the Pro Stock feature event.
Here they come once again. Off turn number 4, it's Ruggiero with Stephen Park right in tow. Then it's Richard Savory.
Look at Dan Avery.
Avery down
right there. Yep. Avery moves into 3. He's looking for 2.
He had quite a battle earlier with Steve Park. Now he has a chance to regain a spot from Park. Let's see how this one shapes out. He closes in on Stephen. And Stephen just a little bit of a slip in turn 4. Avery working now to the low side.
Dan Avery all over Stephen Park. That's where those tires are working. Avery almost into second. By golly, he's got 2. There's only one thing that separates him and a payday, and he'll need it to pay for those tires.
No doubt about it as he works off with turn number 4. He's trying to pick up that spot. He will do so. Now he's got his eye set on the leader, and that is the 11 of Ruggiero.
84 laps and they're counting away. Dan Avery sees nothing but a blue number 11 just in front of him.
Closing in. Yard by yard. Still a long way to go.
The big question is, can he track down the Reg? He's gaining. Here he comes. Pulls up almost. And they enter turn number 4. Let's see what happens now when they come off with turn number 2. Down the backstretch. Ruggiero
Closing in. There he is. It's not over with yet.
Well, you thought the fireworks were spectacular in the air. Well, we got him right now on the racetrack. Is Dan Avery, who currently runs second, is going to try to pick up that number 1 spot. He's starting to set up the Reg as they come down the front stretch.
Well, it's the old story. He's right there. He's on the back bumper, and he is challenging. He's forcing the Reg, and look out, here comes Dan Avery. And the fans are jumping up and down in the seats. Avery's crew has perhaps made the call of the night. Reggie Ruggiero, who knows this track better than most, isn't about to relinquish the lead without a fight. Avery goes to the outside. It's the old story of the tail that wags the dog, and in this case, there's no dogging it for position number 1.
Well, he'll tuck it back in line this time. Once again, coming off turn number 2, heading down the backstretch. Ruggiero in command, but Avery is right there. Here he comes once again and trying to make the move off turn number 4. Gets a little bit sideways. He'll gather it back in.
Dan Avery is right there where he wants to be. Off the turn, Ruggiero pulls him. But in the turns, Avery can reel right back in. Trouble now.
And a car spinning. Brings out
Caution
the
flag comes out.
Dan Grassart, 6 laps to go.
Watch this. Here we go. Nose to tail. victory again. 4 laps and counting down. Laps to go next time by. As it's starting to mist a bit with less than 2 laps to go. Off the turn, white flag is out, 1 lap remaining.
One last chance down the backstretch. No, sir. Avery can't do it. Here he comes again. Off the turn they come, and the Reg hugs that inside groove and takes the victory.
Reggie Ruggiero visits victory lane once again, and Avery turns in a great run for second.
Bid of Dan Avery for the victory. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the Reg has to say about all
Sure will
that.
be. And now Reggie Ruggiero becomes the winningest driver in 1996 in the modified division here at Riverside, with 4 wins to his credit. And it's starting to rain just as the checkered flag came out. We hope you've enjoyed your visit here with us for the America's Birthday 100. And we hope to see you either tomorrow or next Saturday night when the NEMA Midgets invade Riverside Park Speedway. Don't forget also the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour event. If you thought this was heated, you haven't seen nothing yet. Wednesday, July 17th, rain date Thursday. He is out of the automobile, 4 feature event wins to his credit. Reggie Ruggiero wins this one for Chelsea.
Well, Reggie Ruggiero picks up his 4th victory on the 1996 season, and what fashion he did it. He started in the 15th starting spot as the rain starts to come down. Reggie, congratulations on a job well done tonight.
Thank you very much. We had planned tonight. These are our tires from last week's feature, and we were going to pit like halfway, and the cautions really didn't fall in our way. And we were leading the race. The car was so good tonight, decided, it was my call, decided not to pit. Came home to victory.
Were you worried about any of those cautions that the tires were going to cool down? I mean, you had a lot of good competitors that were up there challenging you.
No, the car, worked perfect today. The guys had the car set up great. The Goodyear gave us a good tire tonight, and like I said, they were week-old tires. Maybe that was a secret. They were a little bit harder than the fresh ones, and they went the extra distance.
Was your crew telling you on the radio what Dan Avery had done, that he had taken on 4 tires?
Yeah, we knew he had taken on 4. We were going to pit 4 on, and he was coming up, and I had my guys time me on the top and then on the bottom, and I was definitely 2-3 tenths faster on the bottom. So the last 5-6 laps, as you can see, I stayed on the bottom, and Dan was no contest after that.
Now, it started to mist there a little bit. Were you worried about that mist at all?
Tell you the truth, I didn't even know it was raining until I stuck my hand out the window and seen the drops.
Okay, Reggie Ruggiero picks up his 4th win on the 1996 season, and we're going to try to find Dan Avery. As I don't see Dan anywhere around here, but how about a big round of applause for Dan Avery, who took on 4 tires that come back from the rear of the field to finish second to Reggie Ruggiero. And let's send it back upstairs. Well, wait a minute, here's Dan. Wait.
The official finish, Raleigh's going to have it in just a moment. Avery's headed up to the press box, and we'll go to Raleigh with the official finish, please.
Okay, thank you, Ben. In addition to the Reg and Avery, finishing 3rd was Steve Park in the 00. He was followed by the 9 of Richard Savory, the 28 of Richie Gallup taking 5th, followed by the 79 of Jensen. Kopech finished 7th in the M6, and he was followed by Tony Papali, Eddie Spires, and Fran Principe. 11th place to the 7 of Dave Gallo, followed by the 75 of Dan Grasso. Dave Barabee finishes 13th in the 04, followed by the 09 of Schofield, and the 4 New York of Jim Houghton. Eric Leclerc, 16th in the 78, followed by the 17M of Fuller, the 71 of Seidel, the 2X, finishing next for Summers, then the 90 of Rene Dupuis, the 33 of Cole, 73 of Rocco, the 47 of Rickett, and the 34 of Walker.